Two identical GMC trucks, same model, same engine, same mileage. One will run for 300,000 miles. The other will cost you $5,000 in repairs before it hits 150. The only difference, the model year. 3 years are money pits that look great on the outside. 4 years are bulletproof. And the pattern is so obvious that once you see it, you'll never shop the same way again. Here's what to look for and what to run from. Before we get into the list, here's the rule that ties everything together. First year of a new platform, run. Last years of a platform, buy. Every single time GM launches a new generation, the first model year has problems. New transmissions with bad calibrations, new electronics with bugs, new systems that haven't been tested by millions of miles of real-world driving. By the last years of that same platform, every issue has been fixed, every calibration refined, every weak point addressed. The truck at the end of the production run is always better than the truck at the beginning, always. Keep that rule in mind. Every truck on this list proves it. The first year to avoid looks like a solid buy on paper. Modern body style, decent price, plenty of them on the market, and that's exactly why people keep making this mistake. 2014, the K2XX platform, first year of what was, at the time, a completely redesigned Sierra and Yukon. New body, new interior, new 8-speed transmission, the 8L90. And that transmission is where the problems start. The first year 8L90 had calibration issues that GM spent the next 2 years fixing through technical service bulletins. Shift, shudder. Harsh shifts between third and fourth gear. Torque converter problems that caused vibrations at highway speed. Some trucks got reflashed and improved. Others never did. And those are the ones sitting on Marketplace right now for what looks like a great price. But the transmission isn't the only issue. 2014 was also the first year for a new electrical architecture. Body control module problems, infotainment freezes and reboots, sensor failures that trigger warning lights for systems that are working fine. First-year electrical gremlins that make diagnosis expensive and frustrating. On the used market right now, a 2014 Sierra runs $12,000 to $19,000. And here's the problem with that price. At $15,000, you're in the same range as a 2012 or 2013 GMT 900 with fewer miles and a proven powertrain. The older truck has none of these first-year issues. It's been on the road for over a decade, and every problem it could have is documented, cheap, and predictable. First year of a new platform is always a beta test paid for by the buyer. 2014 proves it, but this next one is the year that started a pattern. GM still hasn't fixed. 2007. The GMT 900, first year of the platform that would become one of GM's best, but not in its first year. This is the year GM introduced active fuel management on the 5.3 liter, the system that deactivates 4 cylinders at cruise to save fuel. It was new technology in 2007, and the first-year implementation had issues that would define this engine's reputation for the next decade. The lifters that control cylinder deactivation were the first generation of that design. The oil delivery system feeding those lifters was new, and the calibration controlling when and how aggressively the system activated was still being refined. The result? Lifter noise, lifter failure, and oil consumption issues that were significantly worse in 2007 than in later years. The 6L80 transmission was also new to the Sierra and Yukon platform in 2007. The transmission itself is excellent, but first-year units had valve body calibration issues that caused harsh shifts and delayed engagement in some trucks. By 2009 and 2010, those calibrations were refined, and the 6L80 became one of the most reliable transmissions GM ever put in a truck. And then there's the electrical side. First-year body control module issues, instrument cluster failures, gauges sticking, going to zero, or reading incorrectly. Oil pressure sensor failures that trigger warnings on a perfectly healthy engine, all documented, all fixable, but all expensive to chase if you don't know what you're looking at. Take a 2007 Sierra and a 2011 Sierra, same body, same 5.3 engine family, same 6L80 transmission. The 2011 has refined AFM calibrations with fewer lifter issues. It has updated transmission programming that shifts smoother and lasts longer. The electrical problems are resolved. The interior materials are better. It's the same truck with 4 years of engineering improvements baked in. and it costs roughly the same on the used market. A 2007 Sierra runs $7,000 to $12,000 on the used market. A 2010 to 2013 is $8,500 to $16,000. For $1,000 to $4,000 more, you skip every first-year problem. That's the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. 2007 is the year GM tested everything new at once. The owners were the test subjects, now the worst one. The year that combines every first-year problem into one expensive package, 2019. The T1XX platform. And this is the year I'd avoid more than any other GMC on the used market in 2026. Everything changed. New platform, new body, new interior, new 10-speed transmission, the 10L80, and a new fuel management system, dynamic fuel management, that deactivates cylinders in 17 different patterns instead of the 4-cylinder shutdown that AFM used. Let me be clear about what that means. DFM cycles all 16 lifters through constant activation and deactivation in varying combinations, more lifters cycling more often under more stress. The lifter failure rate on 2019 and 2020 trucks is documented, and it's significant. The repair, lifters, camshaft, gaskets, labor runs $3,000 to $5,500. And here's the math that should scare you. A 2019 Sierra at $35,000 with 60,000 miles. By 100,000 miles, which is only 40,000 miles of driving, budget for the lifter job at $4,000. Budget for a potential torque converter at $2,000. Budget for the higher maintenance cost of a more complex drivetrain. Your total cost to reach 100,000 miles on that truck, $41,000 to $43,000. A 2012 GMT 900 at $12,000 reaches the same mileage for $15,000 to $17,000 total. Same capability, $25,000 difference. The 10-speed transmission had its own first-year problems. Torque converter shudder that GM addressed through multiple technical service bulletins. Some trucks got the updated fluid and recalibration. Some didn't, and the ones that didn't are still shuddering. Or they've had the torque converter replaced at $2,000 to $3,000. Here's the pattern. 2007, first year, GMT 900. 2014, first year K2XX. 2019, first year T1XX. Every single one introduced new technology on a new platform, and every single one had problems that cost owners thousands. This isn't bad luck. This is a pattern. And the pattern says, never buy the first year. The most expensive year to buy isn't the newest, it's the first. Those are the 3 years to run from. A pattern that repeats every time GM launches something new. But the flip side of that pattern is just as powerful. Because the last years of every platform are where the real value is. 4 model years that prove it. Quick thing, if this is changing how you search for a truck, hit subscribe. I put out videos every week breaking down exactly what to buy, what to avoid, and what to keep. So you shop smart, not sorry. The first reliable range is the one that started the pattern, the end of an era, and the best version of it. 2005 to 2006, the final years of the GMT 800 platform. By 2005, the GMT 800 had been in production for 6 years. Every transmission calibration issue, fixed. Every electrical bug, documented and resolved. Every weak point in the chassis, the suspension, the drivetrain, addressed through running production changes that made the last trucks off the line significantly better than the first ones. The 5.3 Vortec in these trucks is a Gen 3 LS iron block, proven across millions of units. And here's the key detail for buyers. If you're shopping 2005 to 2006, look for the LM7 or L33 engine codes on the RPO sticker in the glove box. Those don't have AFM. The LC9 and LH6 do. If you want zero-cylinder deactivation concerns, the LM7 and L33 are your targets. The 4L60E transmission in these late trucks is at the end of its evolution. The calibrations are the best they ever were. The valve body is refined. It's not the most advanced transmission GM ever made, but by 2006 it's one of the most reliable. Clean crew cab 4-wheel drive examples run $8,000 to $13,000. At that price, you're getting the most refined version of a platform that's been perfected over half a decade. Parts are everywhere. Tutorials are infinite. Any mechanic in the country can work on it with their eyes closed. The last year of a platform is always the best year to buy. This is where that rule was written. This next range is for the buyer who wants something more modern. without the first-year risk. 2016 to 2018, the K2XX platform after 2 to 4 years of production. Remember 2014, the first year with the rough 8-speed and the electrical gremlins? By 2016, GM had issued dozens of technical service bulletins, recalibrated the 8L90 transmission, updated the torque converter design, and resolved the major electrical issues. The truck that was a beta test in 2014 became a refined, reliable platform by 2016. These trucks have the 5.3 with AFM, not DFM, the simpler system that deactivates 4 cylinders, not 17 patterns. And it's completely disableable with a $270 plug-in device. Once you disable it, the primary failure mode on this engine goes away. And here's what makes this range special for 2026 buyers. These trucks are modern enough to have Apple CarPlay, a backup camera, and current safety features. But they're old enough to avoid DFM, the 10-speed transmission, and the first-year problems of the T1XX platform. They sit in a sweet spot between technology and reliability that's hard to find anywhere else. On the used market, $20,000 to $25,000 for an SLE with miles, $25,000 to $32,000 for a clean SLT or Denali. At that price, you're getting a truck with a refined powertrain, modern features, and 3 to 4 years of production improvements baked in. Enough technology to feel current, enough time on the market to be trusted. That's the formula. But this next one isn't about gas engines. It's about the only diesel years worth buying and why the price tag is justified. 2003 to 2006, the Duramax LB7 and LLY, paired with the Allison 1000 series transmission, the last years of pre-emissions diesel. Here's why these years matter. Starting in 2007, GM added a diesel particulate filter, exhaust gas recirculation, and eventually DEF injection to meet emission standards. Every one of those systems added complexity, added failure points, and added thousands of dollars in potential repair costs. The 2003 to 2006 trucks don't have any of it. The LB7, 2001 to 2004, has a known injector issue. The injectors can fail, and replacement runs $3,000 to $4,500. It's a real cost, but it's a known cost. You budget for it, you handle it, and the truck runs for another 200,000 miles. The LLY, 2004.5 to 2006, resolved the injector design and is the better buy if you can find one. The LLY's known weakness is head gaskets under heavy load, but for normal ownership, it's the most balanced pre-emissions Duramax. The Allison behind both of these is rated for 620 to 700 pound-feet of torque. The LB7 makes 520. The transmission is working at 75 to 80% capacity. It's not stressed. It's not even close. These trucks run $25,000 to $42,000 in 2026. That's not cheap. But here's the trajectory that explains the price. 5 years ago, clean LLY trucks were $15,000 to $22,000. Today, they're $30,000 to $40,000. Every winter, the Rust Belt claims more of them. GM is never building another pre-emissions diesel. The supply only goes down. The demand only goes up. In 5 years, the clean ones will be $50,000 and people will still be buying them because the alternative is a post-emissions diesel with $5,000 in potential repairs hanging over it. If you want diesel and you have the budget, these are the years. Not because they're cheap, because they're worth it. Now, number 1. The single best model year range you can buy in 2026. And if you've been paying attention, you already know what it is. 2010 to 2013, the GMT 900, late production, the sweet spot. This is where the rule proves itself completely. 2007, the first year, had AFM issues, transmission calibration problems, and electrical gremlins. By 2010, every single one of those problems was resolved. The 6L80 transmission received updated calibrations that made it smoother, more responsive, and more durable. The AFM system was refined, still not perfect, but significantly better than the first-year implementation. And it's still disableable with the same $270 device. The interior materials improved, the ride quality improved, the overall fit and finish of the truck improved. 2010 to 2013 is 3 to 6 years into the platform. Every problem that could surface has surfaced. Every fix that could be applied has been applied. The truck you're buying in this range is the final, most refined version of a platform that GM perfected over 7 years of production. Clean Crew Cab 4-wheel drive examples run $8,500 to $16,000. At $12 to $15 grand, you're in the sweet spot. A truck with reasonable miles, proven reliability, and a powertrain that mechanics trust enough to buy for themselves. Here's what to look for. 2010 and up specifically. That's when the 6L80 calibration updates made the biggest difference. Crew cab 4-wheel drive for resale value. No rust, rocker panels, cab corners, brake lines. Service records if you can find them, and avoid heavy modifications. Stock trucks in this range are worth more and last longer than modified ones. Here's what you do the day you buy one. Install an AFM disabler, 270. Full fluid service, engine oil, transmission, transfer case, differentials, coolant, $300 to $500. Those two things eliminate the biggest risks and set you up for 100,000 miles of ownership that'll cost you less in total than 1 year of payments on a new Sierra. That's not an exaggeration, that's the math. I covered this engine and platform in detail in my video on the only GMC engine worth buying. If you want the full cost of ownership breakdown, that's where to find it. But here's the bottom line. In 5 years, clean 2010 to 2013 GMT 900s will be what clean GMT 800s are today. 20 grand and climbing for the good ones. The window to buy these at 12 to 15,000 is closing. Every year, the clean ones get scarcer and the prices go up. The most reliable GMC you can buy in 2026 isn't the newest one on the lot. It's the one that's already proven everything it needs to prove. 3 years to run from, 4 years to buy. One rule that connects all of them. First year of a new platform, run. Last years of a platform, buy. 2007, 2014, 2019, first years, first problems, first owners paying for GM's learning curve. 2005 to 06, 2016 to 18, 2003 to 06 diesel, 2010 to 13. Last year's best versions, every problem already solved. The model year on that listing tells you more than the mileage, the price, or the photos ever will. Now, you know how to read it. If you want to know the only GMC engine worth buying in 2026, watch this video right here. And if you want to make your GMC last past 300,000 miles, that one's right here. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.